Imagine discovering a book that no one on Earth can read. A book filled with strange plants that do not seem to exist, mysterious diagrams of stars and galaxies, and pages covered in an unknown script unlike any language ever recorded. For more than a century, historians, linguists, cryptographers, and even the codebreakers who helped crack enemy ciphers during World War II have tried to understand it. Yet to this day, nobody knows what it says. Some believe it contains lost scientific knowledge, others think it was written in a forgotten language, and some are convinced it is one of the greatest hoaxes in human history. This is the story of the Voynich Manuscript. The mystery begins in 1912. A rare book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich was searching through a collection of ancient manuscripts at a Jesuit college near Rome, Italy. Among hundreds of old books, one unusual volume immediately caught his attention. Its pages were covered with elegant handwriting, but the symbols were completely unfamiliar. Voynich had spent years studying rare manuscripts, yet he had never seen anything like it. He purchased the book and began investigating its origins. Soon, scholars from around the world became fascinated by the strange manuscript. As researchers examined it more closely, the mystery only deepened. The manuscript contains around 240 surviving pages. Although experts believe some pages may have been lost over time, every page is filled with strange writing. The text flows naturally from left to right. Words repeat in recognizable patterns. Sentences appear structured and organized. At first glance, it looks exactly like a real language. But there is a problem. No one has ever identified the alphabet. No known language matches the text. And despite more than 100 years of study, nobody has successfully translated even a single sentence with certainty. Yet the writing is only part of the mystery. The illustrations may be even stranger. Large sections of the manuscript are filled with detailed drawings of plants. Some resemble real species, others appear completely impossible. Many seem to combine features from multiple plants into entirely new forms. Leaves belong to one species, roots resemble another. Flowers look unlike anything found in nature. Researchers have spent decades attempting to identify these plants, but most remain unknown. Other pages contain complex astronomical diagrams, stars, circular charts, and zodiac symbols appear throughout the manuscript. Some illustrations seem to track celestial movements. Others resemble maps of the heavens. There are also pages filled with mysterious biological scenes. Perhaps the most famous images show dozens of small female figures bathing in green liquid, connected by elaborate networks of tubes and containers. Some appear to be entering pools, others stand inside strange structures that resemble organs, machinery, or perhaps something else entirely. Nobody knows what these scenes represent: medicine, alchemy, astronomy, religion, or something completely different. Every interpretation raises new questions. Naturally, scholars wanted answers. Over the years, some of the world's brightest minds attempted to solve the mystery. Linguists analyzed the text, historians searched for clues, cryptographers studied patterns hidden within the symbols. Even experts who successfully broke military codes during World War II examined the manuscript. Many expected the secret to be uncovered quickly. Instead, they found themselves facing one of the most frustrating puzzles in history. The manuscript behaves like a real language. Word frequencies follow recognizable patterns. Certain symbols appear more often than others. Some words occur repeatedly in specific sections. Statistical analysis suggests the text follows rules. Yet those rules do not match any known language. It is neither random nor understandable. The manuscript seems trapped somewhere between order and chaos. As a result, several major theories emerged. One theory suggests the manuscript is written in a lost language. Perhaps it belonged to a forgotten civilization. Perhaps it was created by a small, isolated community whose language disappeared centuries ago. Or perhaps it preserves a form of speech that historians have never encountered elsewhere. At first, this idea sounds reasonable, but there is a significant problem. No other document written in the same language has ever been found. Not a single letter, not a single inscription, not a single book. If the manuscript truly records a lost language, it stands completely alone. Another theory suggests the text is encrypted. During the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, scholars often concealed information using secret codes. Alchemists, physicians, and philosophers sometimes hid their discoveries to protect valuable knowledge. Perhaps the Voynich Manuscript contains scientific information disguised behind an incredibly sophisticated cipher. If so, it would explain why the text appears structured yet remains unreadable. However, this theory creates another mystery. Modern computers have analyzed the manuscript for decades. Advanced algorithms have searched for hidden patterns. Artificial intelligence systems have attempted to decode it. Yet no solution has ever gained widespread acceptance. If the manuscript is encrypted, it may be one of the most effective ciphers ever created. And that raises an uncomfortable question. Could people living 600 years ago really have invented a code so advanced that even modern technology struggles to break it? Then there is perhaps the most controversial theory of all. What if the manuscript is a hoax? What if it was created simply to deceive wealthy collectors or patrons? Supporters of this theory argue that the strange illustrations and unreadable text could have been designed to appear mysterious and valuable. After all, unusual objects often attract attention, and attention can generate money. But once again, the evidence creates problems. The text is remarkably consistent. Patterns appear throughout hundreds of pages. The structure is complex enough to resemble genuine language. Creating such a detailed fraud would have required an extraordinary amount of effort. Why would someone spend years constructing a meaningless book with such intricate internal consistency? The answer remains unclear. For many years, some researchers suspected the manuscript might be a relatively modern forgery. Then, in 2009, scientists performed radiocarbon dating on the parchment. The results shocked many observers. The material used to create the manuscript dated back to the early 15th century, around the years 1404 to 1438. This meant the manuscript was genuinely old. It was not a 20th century invention. The mystery suddenly became even more serious. Whoever created the book had lived over 600 years ago. One of the most fascinating clues comes from a letter discovered among historical documents. The letter suggests the manuscript may once have belonged to Holy Roman Emperor Rudolf II, who reportedly paid a fortune for it. According to the story, Rudolf believed the manuscript had been written by the famous medieval scholar Roger Bacon. However, no evidence has ever confirmed this claim. Like so many aspects of the Voynich manuscript, it remains another intriguing possibility surrounded by uncertainty. Today, the manuscript is housed securely at Yale University. It has been photographed, scanned, digitized, and analyzed more extensively than perhaps any other mysterious document in history. Researchers around the world continue searching for answers. New theories appear every year. Artificial intelligence is providing fresh insights. Advanced computational models continue examining the text. Yet the central mystery remains untouched. Nobody knows who wrote it, nobody knows why it was written, and nobody knows what it says. Perhaps one day a forgotten clue will emerge from an archive. Perhaps a future breakthrough in artificial intelligence will finally unlock the text. Or perhaps the manuscript will continue guarding its secrets for centuries to come. Until that day arrives, the Voynich Manuscript remains one of humanity's greatest unsolved mysteries. A book that exists, a book that can be touched, a book that can be studied, and yet somehow a book that nobody can truly read. And somewhere, right now, another researcher may be staring at its pages, convinced they are about to solve the puzzle, just as countless others believed before them. But for now, the manuscript remains silent.